Kia ora, good evening. After almost 20 years of talks, 190 countries have reached a landmark agreement to protect nearly a third of the world's oceans. The UN High Seas Treaty aims to stop overfishing and to reverse species loss in areas considered international waters, waters outside the jurisdiction of individual countries. That's the light blue area on this map. The treaty will allow for 30% of that to become dedicated marine protected areas. Why is it important? Because the ocean and everything in it soaks up carbon dioxide and produces half of the oxygen we breathe. Lauren Hendrickson has a story.
After 38 hours of intensive non-stop talks,
ladies and gentlemen,
a rare display of global unity,
the ship has reached the shore,
and a climate victory almost 2 decades in the making. The landmark deal will protect the high seas, an area which covers almost half of our planet. It's a monumental move because up until now there has been no legally binding international agreement in place.
A way to do it didn't exist before this.
The pledge to protect 30% of global oceans by 2030. It's the action that follows a promise made last December at the UN Biodiversity Summit.
It would have been very, very difficult to deliver the 30 by 30 for 42% of the planet without this treaty.
Currently, only 1.2% of these waters are shielded from exploitation. And with the increasing reach of fishing and shipping vessels, it's under threat like never before.
We've seen recent extreme weather events, more cyclones, because the oceans are absorbing so much heat. We need to protect the health of the oceans. This treaty helps to do that.
The treaty will restrict how much fishing can take place, the routes of shipping lanes and activities like deep-sea mining, and will provide legal tools to establish and manage marine protected areas. As for where those areas will be, that's yet to be decided.
There are kind of ecologically and biologically significant areas that have been identified that have been flagged as priorities for protection. So once we get this treaty actually in place, we can start with the hard work.
The Green Party says this move should be a major wake-up call for New Zealand and is calling for urgent new legislation to protect our own waters.
Government has lagged behind what's happening internationally. There have been no new marine protected areas established in the last 5 years. New Zealand vessels are still bottom trawling in the South Pacific. We're the only country that is doing that.
Marine expert Simon Thrush agrees.
If we're going to achieve the levels of conservation that we've signed up to internationally, we really need to act now.
The government says it's listening.
New Zealand has been one of the countries that have negotiated this treaty, so it will be important to be consistent to look towards our domestic legislation.
To make sure we're doing everything we can, both globally and at home. Lauren Hendrickson, Newshub.